more with them.
You got 10 kills left. Kills to go.
You're killing it. They've lost the lead.
Hey guys, I'm Clint Flair Woo. Welcome back to another Division build video, and today this is a special subscriber shout out. Guy called Non-Chrissy88 for real has dropped me a message saying he'd like me to create this particular Banshee hybrid. It melts, it really does. Use it for skirmish and last stand. I wouldn't necessarily use this in the dark zone, in all honesty. I would switch a few pieces around and see how it fared. I feel the stronger sets, but for damage output, this does an exceptional job in skirmish and last stand. Let's take a look. Okay guys, this is a Banshee hybrid. I'm rolling with 3 pieces Banshee. There's no Ninja Bike backpack, so there's no bonuses from that. I'm running 3 pieces of Banshee, which is the backpack, the holster and the knee pads, and 2 gold pieces and an exotic chest. Let's take a look at Banshee first to see what the 3-piece does for the build. And it is 20% looted DZ funds and 10% damage to targets out of cover, and I'm using this for that multiplicative bonus alone, not for the DZ funds. I'm rolling with a Barrett's bulletproof chest piece. That is no skills on cooldown, increase your skill power by 10%, 1 skill on cooldown increases damage by 5%, and 2 skills on cooldown increase your armor by 10%. So it's all about that damage from popping your booster shot and having the increased damage of 5% from Barrett's, and then you have the booster shot bonus as well. I'm rolling with a tenacious mask, and again this is to increase the damage by 10% for 10 seconds when using a medkit, and in skirmish last stand you will use your fair amount of medkits very quickly. When you do, you'll get that damage output. And again, the way I would look at using this, and the way I've used this in the footage, is all about popping your medkit, then popping your booster shot. You have that damage output which is immense for a short period of time, and it helps you give you that burst damage very quickly. And then you have Savage Gloves, and your critical chances increase by 7% against targets out of cover. And again, it's all about dealing more damage, and that will benefit the build. So I'm using an AR, no SMGs in this one, so Savage does help immensely for this build. Okay, so we'll start at the top. We'll go through the gear little bit by bit. So firstly, the chest piece, which is Barrett's, is rolled into firearms with skill, haste, health and ammo capacity, and the mods are both stamina, health. The tenacious mask is critical chance, stamina and disorient resistance. Ideal scenario would be burn resistance, however this is the best one I have. The Banshee knee pads, it is firearms with critical damage, bleed resistance, disorient resistance and burn resistance. I would ideally like to swap out disorient for shock, and then you have the perfect PvP knee pad. And in terms of the mods, they are stamina, health and a 5% support station healing speed mod. And the Banshee holster, it is critical at chance with another 5% support station healing speed mod. Savage Gloves, assault rifle damage, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and it's baked into firearms. And the backpack is firearms with critical hit damage, bleed resistance, which helps with the pred bleed, and stamina health with support station healing speed mods for 2. Okay, so that's the gear. That's how I've got it rolled. The firearms is 7.5, stamina 5.3, electronics 2.9. My firepower is 430. Then again, that's buoyed by the bonuses from the Bullfrog. As you can see, I have that equipped. Toughness is 440, which is ideally would like a little bit more. That's why all my mods are stamina health. It's all about getting as much resistance and toughness on the build to make sure you've got more survivability to take people down. Now, in terms of weapons, it's all about the Bullfrog. I could use the lightweight M4. I could use an LVOA. However, I just really enjoy rolling with the really high RPM on the Bullfrog. It just absolutely shreds. If you get it right, you're in such a good place. Now, the talents I'm using, they are deadly. Again, I want to increase that critical damage as high as possible. And responsive. Again, I want to deal as much damage closely as possible. And this does the exact trick. And the Bullfrog talent, which is uncomplicated, damage is increased by 15%. Accuracy and stability mods reduce this bonus. So it's all about making sure that your mods are not stability, not accuracy. The more you have on your Bullfrog will take a little bit of damage from there. However, you can get it and stack it on your build if need be, i.e. your backpack, if you wanted to. However, I've opted not to. I want that raw damage, but there is a little bit of stability and accuracy on the Bullfrog. We just take a look. Magazines, critic chance, rate of fire. The optics, critic damage, headshot damage, critic chance. The muzzle, critic damage, headshot damage, critic chance. It's all about the damage. And the underbarrel is critic damage, accuracy, and reload speed. Again, there's only 2% accuracy, which does take a little bit off in terms of the damage output, but still, it's 2%. I can live with that. My secondary is a house. I use this when I need to use it. Deadly responsive, same talents as the Bullfrog. Card counter is the baked in talent. And in terms of the magazine, it's reload speed, rate of fire. Again, if you want to hit as hard as possible, quickly as possible. Critic damage, stability, accuracy. Critic damage, crit chance, headshot damage on the muzzle. The underbarrel, critic damage, accuracy, and stability. Okay, we take a look at the character sheet. Now, critic chance is 23%, critic damage is 130%, which is a lot of critical hit damage. And you're going to think the critic chance is a little bit on the low side, however, that doesn't factor in Savage Gloves. That 7%, again, never shows on your character sheet. So that 7% will make it 30% against players. I also have a talent called Precision. That will give me 12.5% critical hit chance and 25% critical hit damage. That will boost my critic chance to 42.5% and critic damage to 155%. You're going to hit very, very hard with the Bullfrog. Again, no damage deletes, no health on kills. Now how the build set out, bit of enemy armor damage, which does create a little bit of smidgen of damage against other players. Skill haste, which is on the chest piece. Survivability. Go through, there's no EDR. I'd love a bit of EDR on the build, however I've opted for skill haste because of how the Barrett's bulletproof chest piece is laid out. Bleed resistance 50%, which is good. Burn 31, disorient 49. And we'll go through the abilities now. I'm rolling with booster shot again for just that damage output is needed. Support station, immunizer, definitely. I mean, I've played the last few days with this particular build, and to be fair, it does work very, very well. You've got to be, how I would put it, I'm an SMG guy. So first and foremost, how I play primarily, and my mind is focused primarily on the way the SMGs are built to absolutely shred at close distance. I'm not really an AR guy, so I did have a bit of struggle at first with this particular weapon and the build, but once you got going, it's in a good place. And I'll be honest with you, someone who's better, and there's many better players, if using an assault rifle, can absolutely rinse with this build. They can shred if they build it similar to the way I've built it and just go in the skirmish last stand, even the dark zone, and have a cracking time with this particular build. Me personally, I'm an average AR guy at very best. I prefer run, gun, SMG, that's how I play. But I did have a lot of success with this build, so the right hands, it absolutely can demolish many players. Talents, adrenaline. Again, I think that's just needed with Pred, which is just yeah, it's everywhere. It's highly frustrating, but it's part of the game. It's how it is. And adrenaline does give you that little bit of immunity for 7 seconds. Combat medic to make sure your teammates are all good and have a bit of extra health. Precision, as discussed, for the extra crit chance and crit damage. And steady hands. And I've used steady hands to remove a little bit of recoil on the Bullfrog because it's a wild beast of a weapon. Jump into cover, 10 seconds, you've got that 25%, and it does not affect the damage. It does not affect the uncomplicated talent on the Bullfrog. It's only when you mod and how you mod your weapon. So feel free to jump into cover to get that extra bit of stability to make you hit home harder and more often. And there you go, guys. This is my subscriber special. This is me using AR. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not the best, but I've put this together. Let me know what you think in the comments box. 3-piece Banshee works very, very well and synergizes well with the gold and the exotic piece. I've enjoyed rolling this build, but I'm going back to my house. I'm back to creating some crazy builds with the house SMG, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.